This is Tampa Bay Today with Shriner. Call now, 888-404-1010. That's 888-404-1010. Welcome back to Tampa Bay Today at Money Talk 1010 a.m. I am Shriner, along with our executive producer, Pat George, the lovely and talented Pat George. We're going to put that on your business cards, aren't we?
Yes.
I think we should do that. This is an ongoing conversation, usually topics of the day, but it's also important to us that we invite people to come in here that have a business, a product or service that they provide here to Tampa Bay and share that with us. What is it they're doing? How is it helping our community? So we have an open mic policy, and today we're going to be speaking, as a matter of fact, right now with Darlene Davenport. She's the president of the board of Greater Tampa Realtors. Good morning, Darlene. Thank you for taking some time out to join us today. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great, thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I think it's really crucial to do so. The realty market, the buying and selling of homes in a time of the coronavirus has really become an interesting topic. And I did a little traveling over the weekend and ran into some people that were running into situations where by the time when they were relocating to a new city, by the time they would get to a city to see a house, there would already be offers on it and they would miss out. It is really a hot market, and some of the other realtors I've talked to here in the Tampa Bay area have been saying the same thing. So can you give us kind of an update? Well, before we do that, tell us a little bit about yourself and about Greater Tampa Realtors, and then we'll get into the market. So give us some history on who you are and who Greater Tampa Realtors is and what they do for us.
Sure. Thank you so much. So I arrived in Tampa in 2005. And started my real estate career here at that time. My background is in finance, sales, and marketing, and brought that knowledge forward to the real estate industry. So I've grown to love and sell Tampa Bay every day.
Right.
Our association volunteered there with Greater Tampa Realtors. We're 12,600 strong members that serve Hillsborough, Pasco County, and Pinellas as well. There's some overlap there, but so proud of the job our association has done since this pandemic was announced in March. You know, we truly are there for our members to keep them informed. Today it's about support, advice, consulting with consumers, keeping them abreast of the information that's out there. And we as an association have taken the lead, pivoted to give them all the information that has come to us, educate them on how to work this market and this environment, and very proud of where we've come from.
That's fantastic, and there's so much to do here. So can you give us an update on how the market is going, residential? I know you can touch on commercial a little as well.
Yeah, the housing market is on fire, as you say.
Right.
It's amazing what's happening out there, and you're right, multiple offers, very low inventory. Our inventory is below 2 months.
Wow.
So when you get into that, it's truly a seller's market, and we have no inventory. Our home price appreciation, we have not received June stats yet from our economists, but in May we were up 6%, single families on appreciation. Our inventory, however, had fallen 30% year over year, so we were down to 1.9 months supply. Median sales price at $274,990. So we're seeing the prices go up, and that's supply and demand. Economics 101 that is driving that price up with those multiple offers. But it truly has been a V recovery in the housing market. We started, however, with a robust market prior to the pandemic.
Right.
The state of Florida had experienced sales up over 9% year over year, in addition to our median price being up 8%. Single family up 6.1% year over year in Hillsborough County alone. So we started this year robust, ready to go. March continued with a good market, and then we saw the downturn come, and we had about 2 weeks that we were down 50%, and then we turned right around and showed a 30% pivot there that we ended April with 20% down.
Right,
so
and I I was say I
I'm
spoke
sorry.
with a realtor in, I believe it was April. I've spoken with several here on the show, and every one of them was very confident in making people aware that if they were thinking about putting a home on the market, that they should not wait to do so, because that little blip you talked about, the couple of weeks there, they knew it wasn't going to last, that the industry was going to pivot, and that the sales were going to skyrocket. So they needed to have your home on the market right away, and sure enough, that really came through. They were all correct.
It truly did. And, fortunately, we were deemed essential, the real estate industry itself. So that was huge for us to continue to support our consumers that needed to have housing, whether it be, buying a new home in the midst of they just sold their home and needed to find housing, or for those that needed a rental, what have you. So we have worked through this being essential and continue to educate ourselves to do it where we could be responsible, reliable, and supportive to the consumer.
Right, and the realtor market, the business of buying and selling homes has always been so visual. And as the internet has become, you think about it, it really hasn't been around that long. I remember, back in, what was it, 98, getting an email from my boss at a new station. Hey, do you know how to work this email thing? I mean, we're only talking 20-some years ago. And the real estate market being visual, the way you guys, the men and women of the real estate world have adapted to the imagery that you post, the videos, the quality, the aerial shots using drones, 3D images that people can stand in a room and turn around and really look at every corner, and the video tours that you have made available have made it so much easier to know if you are actually interested in a home without having to get out and drive around in this time of coronavirus, that you're able to see this and know if this is really something you should move on. So you have done an amazing job in that business of making your essential, but making it easy for people to be comfortable in shopping for a home.
Absolutely. And I heard this morning early news about 5:30 that 1 in 6 consumers will consider buying a home virtually without walking.
Without ever walking the property. Yeah.
Absolutely. I sold one, closed it. They've yet to see the home. And they lived in Jersey. We are so attracted to those that went through this pandemic and 40-degree weather in New York and raining, and said, I want out.
Right.
Walk through it, and we have the tools, the resources to give them that virtual reality, as you say, and spoke to so well. And with those resources, we're able to continue doing business, keeping the homeowner selling much safer, and it really has made us more efficient as realtors.
Right, and more valuable to the consumer because of the way you can provide your service in buying a home. It's something they can literally try on from the comfort of their current home before they make that move.
Absolutely, and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Many of those resources have been out there. It's forced us to utilize our toolkit better. We've used them and dabbled with it, but today, again, we are utilizing resources that have been on the market that make us much more valuable, as you say, to those consumers, and allowing them to get into a home without actually walking through.
It's fantastic. What about I mentioned that you can touch on commercial a little bit as well. How has the commercial market been in Tampa Bay and the environs around us?
So commercial, retail and office, you're going to see the effects of this pandemic on those two industry for industrial space is really taken off. But I think it'll be the end of the year before we see the actual true numbers on office and retail. But some are touting that could be down 25, 30%. More people are working from home today. Retail, we've discovered that we don't have to walk through the malls every day, but there's still a need there, that brick and mortar for some. And hopefully they can survive this and come back.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if as brick and mortar continues to evolve and how they operate, they're not going to be taking up necessarily as much space. I kind of wonder what we can do to appropriate some of that property and use it for other purposes. But that's just me thinking ahead a little bit here. What else can you share with us? Anything else we should know as consumers buying and selling in the real estate market here in Tampa Bay? What would be something that we all should know?
Well, historical rates, 50-year low, and it has prompted many to consider their options. We're going to see some of the office transfer into residential housing. Those that have been home, working from home, there's a good percentage of those that stay today. They'll continue that. And so you look at the county. I checked with the county. Our permit value is up. So people improving the home they're in. Maybe they can't find what they're looking for, so they're going to improve and grow what they have.
Right.
We've truly embraced our homes, and really, it's priceless. Our home is our adobe. It's our safe haven.
Right.
And we've all really embraced that through this pandemic to realize how important our home is. So you'll see some of that transfer, but as a consumer today, realize that a realtor understands and knows how to utilize the resources to keep them safe in this environment, to continue to do business. There is a need out there. Over 300,000 people moving to Florida a year.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's a lot of people coming.
No, yeah, the numbers.
AAA bond ratings. Yeah.
It's not, and it's not just people moving here. Now, I'm very curious to see what our tourism numbers will be because of the pandemic, because we have been on a steep increase year after year after year of the number of tourists from within. Most of them are within the United States traveling here. There was a significant portion of European travel and a few other countries that were coming as well. But we were on this huge climb of tourism, and that means there are investment properties, Airbnb, rental homes, all this stuff that was happening that impacted the real estate market. So I am curious to see how that continues to go. But Florida is just such a dynamic market for all things. I think we're just one of the best states, and for growth and potential, and for being and having a home. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. If people want to learn more, the best way is to go to TampaRealtors.org. Is that correct?
TampaRealtors.org to find a professional realtor to assist them in their needs today. And we appreciate all you do, keeping people informed. This is, none of us have the answers for this pandemic.
Right.
And we've all, had to adapt and really pivot quickly. But I thank you for getting this information out to everyone to keep them informed day to day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Darlene Davenport. She's the president of the board of Greater Tampa Realtors. Darlene, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day.
You're welcome back. Anytime you have something you'd like to share. And again, if you'd like to learn more about Tampa Realtors, maybe find a professional for you, or about their mission statement, their vision for what they see in Tampa Bay, the value they have here, go to TampaRealtors.org. And as a matter of fact, if you look across the nav bar near the top of the page, go all the way to the right. Look at About GTR, Greater Tampa Realtors. There's so much information there, and that's a great place to start. So once again, thank you to Darlene for having us coming on the show today to talk to us about the real estate market in Florida, in Tampa Bay. And no, it is really hot right now. This is the time to sell. And as she said, those rates are low. It's also a good time to buy. This is Tampa Bay Today at Money Talk 1010 a.m. We'll be right back.